right, let's do weather for Weather Geeks here on the 25th day of April 2024. You know, even on easy weather days, some days the atmosphere just wants to throw you a curveball. Today was kind of one of those days. We'll explain here at the top of the video. Now, it's a nice looking evening as of a little after 7 o'clock, looking out over the Canfield Fairgrounds. There's an event here this weekend. That's why we have a lot of activity, a lot of cars and RVs and whatnot at the fairgrounds. Yeah, the sky has cleared some, but it wasn't like this all day. We had low clouds that hung kind of tough, especially in areas around and south of Interstate 80 for a lot of the day today. It was a little bit of a surprise. It was not in the forecast, this many clouds for a lot of the day today. And this was the result of a pesky temperature inversion. As you probably know, the temperature usually cools as you go up through the atmosphere. That's fairly normal. It's also somewhat normal to have what we call a temperature inversion, where the air actually gets warmer as you go up into the atmosphere, and that sets up a little bit of a lid or a cap on things. This is important for any number of reasons when it comes to our sensible weather, including severe weather days. But on a benign day like today, the inversion is still important because it trapped a thin layer of low-level moisture up at a few thousand feet above our heads, and the result was clouds just had nowhere to go for a time today. Not everywhere in our viewing area, but again, mostly around and south of Interstate 80. Up north of I-80, especially up into Trumbull County, it was still a fairly bright day today. But unfortunately, many places did not share in that until the end of the afternoon and into this evening. This is a satellite picture just before sunset this evening, and again, that pesky layer of clouds has finally thinned out. We just have a few passing fair weather clouds overhead this evening. It's overall a nice night out there. The clouds prevented pretty thick frost in most of the area, even though the sky cleared temporarily for a time this morning. It still got down to 30 at the airport. It wasn't clear for very long, so we didn't have a lot of thick frost out there this morning. I think there's a better chance actually of having more impactful frost tomorrow morning, even though the temperatures probably won't drop below freezing in most communities overnight. We'll stop at about 32 or 33 in a lot of spots, but a frost advisory out for good reason, because we'll spend a lot of the night under a clear sky, and that's more conducive to the formation of frost. In the meantime, a severe weather threat this evening, front range of the Rockies heading out into the high plains, and this is just the start of a multi-day severe weather episode for a lot of the middle of the country. And, you know, it's late April. It's no surprise that this is the part of the country that's going to be pretty busy. Tomorrow, there's a level 3 enhanced risk of severe weather around the Omaha, Nebraska area and surrounding states. Big day 3 enhanced risk from just south of Omaha down towards Kansas City, Wichita, Oklahoma City, into parts of northern Texas as well. And I think the threat for severe weather will continue Sunday into early next week in some parts of the country. I'm not real concerned about severe weather anytime soon around eastern Ohio and western PA. It's going to be a beautiful Friday. Yes, cold start, but the afternoon much, much better, close to 70, even though some fair weather clouds will start to be in the mix as the afternoon wears on. Our next chance for rain, and I don't think it's much, but there'll be some showers around well past sunset Friday evening and into the overnight hours. And the weekend will start, I think, with a scattering of showers Saturday morning. But I do think we'll get into a dry period Saturday afternoon. Let me stop the animation here. Saturday afternoon. Actually, it should be just a beautiful second half of the day Saturday, with more and more sunshine trying to build in from the south and west, with temperatures getting up into the lower 70s. Should be a very fine Saturday afternoon. Sunday, we're going to keep a dry forecast, even though, you know, we probably can't totally 100% rule out a shower or even an afternoon thunderstorm on Sunday. We're going to leave it out of the forecast for now. We may end up adding it at some point, but I do think the higher chances reside closer to I-90 and closer to this kind of stalled out front in places like Detroit, maybe Toledo, over towards Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo. Those places probably have a better chance of seeing a passing shower or a storm. The farther south you are, the lower those chances certainly are as you get away from that front. Everyone's going to be warm, though, on Sunday. We'll make a run at 80 by the afternoon. So weekend forecasts, again, much improved over the last couple of days temperature-wise. 72 Saturday and 80 degrees on Sunday. No records challenged this weekend. I think the record can be challenged, though, on Monday. That record is 85 on Monday. We don't have that in our forecast right now, but we have at least a record-challenging day in our forecast for Monday. And even though there will be a cold front during midweek, it's not much of a front. It's certainly not going to send us back to the kind of chill we've had over the last couple of days. We'll still be well above the average, it looks like, Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday. If you've been watching weather for Weather Geeks lately, you know my overall idea on early May is that we stay pretty warm through at least the first week or so. There may be a cool down right around the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, something like that. but you're into early to mid-May at that point, and so a cool down does not necessarily mean frost and freeze risks and that sort of thing. It just means maybe not quite as warm as the first week or so of the month. That'll do it for me tonight on Weather for Weather Geeks. So we'll meet you back here on Friday for an update on the weekend forecast and the longer range as well. Thank you as always for watching, and have a great rest of your Thursday night.